Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. In this episode, we'll be previewing the game between the Rajasthan Royals and the Kolkata Knight Riders. Both teams coming into the game with losses. Even though different types of losses, KKR almost pulled a rabbit out of a hat. A sensational lower order display from Cummins and Russell against CSK. They almost put off the game, but with the ball, they leaked a few runs, a few too many runs, and then with the bat, the top order completely failed. And if they, contributed 50, 60 runs, they would have won that game. Whereas Rajasthan were completely dominated by RCB. They did get to 178, 179 but it wasn't enough on this pitch, and the bowlers they were toothless. They had no clue how to get the openers out, and in the end, they lost by 10 wickets, a huge loss. So I think going into this game, KKR will still have confidence. There are positives to look at. There's Andre Russell back in form, which is a huge thing with bat and ball. He was just a couple of sixes away, and now he's in form. Now he's striking it well. I think he's really enjoying playing on these kind of wickets. Mumbai, Bangalore, and not Chennai, sorry, Mumbai, Bangalore, and Kolkata is where he likes to bat. Chennai, UAE, he's not as fluent over there because the ball does stop on. Here, the ball comes on really nicely onto the bat. So Andre Russell is back in form. That's a big positive. Cummins is looking in beautiful touch with the bat. With the ball, he's been slightly expensive, but he's world-class bowler. I'm sure he'll come back. The problem with KKR is their top order, the likes of Rana, Tripathi, Gill, and even Morgan. They all haven't contributed as much. Rana initially was really good, but Gill and Tripathi's contributed, but he needs to convert his starts, I think, into bigger scores. Shubman Gill in particular has lost his wicket. I think he's in this frame of mind and trying to increase the strike rate from last season, and it's not paying off right now. He's getting small starts, but I think he needs to convert that, and someone needs to play anchor because they have the firepower in the middle order, and I think Gill should play that anchor. And Rana, I think he's getting good starts, but he needs to convert. Sometimes he throws away his wicket. He's timing the ball well, so expect more from him. Whereas if you look at Rajasthan, I think Rajasthan, they're relying too much on Butler, Samson, and Miller, and unfortunately, all three of them haven't performed the last two games. Butler in particular has been disappointing. He looks in good touch. He scored 49 the other day, but he couldn't convert. And then against Siraj, he got unstuck after hitting him for two boundaries. I think he needs to take a bit more responsibility, rotate the strike a bit more, take a few less risks, I think, and then go on and bat on till the end, because Butler's contribution will be key for Rajasthan. Samson as well, same thing. He's getting starts, but then throwing away his wicket with poor shots. His shot selection has been poor since that 100. He really needs to improve on that. Even in that 100, he got dropped. So I think Samson needs to take more responsibility, pick out the gaps, choose his shots wisely. He's not been doing that. So that'll be very important. And Rajasthan's bowling in particular has been off. Apart from Sarkaria, all of them have got smashed. Morris, his figures against RCB were very poor, 12.8 economy. That's not acceptable for a player like him. I think he needs to mix it up a bit more. Also the lengths, bowler a bit fuller sometimes, or bowler completely short. The good length that he's bowling, it's easy to work for the batsman, and he's not getting that bounce that you get in South Africa. So I think he has to work on that. Mustafizur hasn't been the same, even though he has improved from last season, but I still feel that spark which he had like 4 seasons ago, that's kind of missing. Hopefully he can come back. He's bowled decently, to be honest, but you expect more from him, more wickets in particular, and I think he'll be striving for that. And the biggest problem for Rajasthan is in the spin department. Gopal has been extremely poor this season, extremely poor. He hasn't picked up wickets. He's been expensive. He bowled a couple of good balls to Kohli and then got smacked in the last game. And it's been like that, whether he bowls in the power play or the middle overs, he's just not picking up wickets. When you don't pick up wickets as a leg spinner and you get hit, it causes a team a lot of problem, because the middle overs when you need to pick up wickets. And as we saw in against Bangalore, they didn't pick up any wickets and they lost the game by 10 wickets. So that's a big issue. In every team, there are leg spinners who pick up wickets, and over here they don't have leg spinner or off spinner picking up wickets. So that's a big problem for Rajasthan. For KKR, I think the bowling is decent. Varun Chakravarti has been very economical. Ideally, you'd like to pick up more wickets. I think either Narayan or Sakib, whoever bowls with him, so far has done a good job. I would probably go in this game with Sakib just because he gives you that batting kind of strength, and he can play the one down role if needed. But at the same time, you can play Narayan as well. I think he has that guile, he has the experience. The only problem is the fast bowlers have got hit a bit. Prasidh Krishna has been expensive. Pat Cummins has been expensive. Russell also has been expensive. So at the death, they'll really want to improve their bowling. Even with the new ball, they want to pick. They've picked up wickets with the new ball, but for them, I think it's the middle overs to late overs, especially from over 13, 14 to 20. They've conceded a lot of runs, so that's where they'll want to tighten up KKR with the ball. And with the bat, the top order needs to fire. Even if they don't score that many runs, they need to give them a start, to give them a 40, 50. You can't just collapse like that, like in the last game, because they have the likes of Russell and Cummins now as well, who can take the score, past any kind of target. So the top order will need to perform, and for them, the death overs with the ball. And Rajasthan, like I said, all round they have to improve. Their big players have to step up. Unfortunately, there's no Ben Stokes, there's no Jofra Archer, but they can still fight with this team, and I believe that they can win games. They just need to they need some players to click, and at the same time they need to be smarter in the middle overs. Their spinners need to use variations. I think they need to play Markanday. It's about time. I think he will be a wicket taker for them, no matter, because right now anyway their spinners have been expensive, so why not just try Markanday, and if he can pick up wickets, that can slow down the rate in itself. So I would go with him for Rajasthan. And the middle order also had improved. You saw against RCB the likes of Dubey and Rayan Parag and even Tewati are performing, so that'll give them some confidence. That top order will take some pressure off them, so they don't need to take all the onus on them. They can give them the platform, and the middle order can do their job as well. So that's an advantage that they'll have. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and comment with your predictions. Who do you think is going to win this game? Who are the key players to look forward to? And yeah, I think it's going to be another high scoring game, and a lot will depend on both teams' top orders. Whoever clicks will win that game. KKR going into the game as favorites for me. But yeah, thank you so much. Comment with your predictions, and take care until next time.